We're going to have a discussion on Python versus VBA when it comes to the if-else statement. And this can help you decide whether you're going to go with Python or whether you're going to go with VBA as the language to start with, to start learning. So we've got on page 156, we've got this pseudo code example. And it's just basically asking, well, what is the first number? What is the second number? What operation do you want? Is it a plus, minus, a divided by, or a multiplication? And at the end, it's going to spit out a value. Now, of course, it needs to have some kind of debug kind of situation. So what that means is if somebody puts in something other than a plus, minus, a division, etc., it's actually going to spit out that the result is an invalid operation. So this is what this is here. So let's firstly look at the VBA version. Now with VBA and with many languages, you should always declare the variables first. It just makes it so much easier to see. So I've dimmed the first one, and it's the first number as long. That's basically meaning that I can have a fairly large number there. Second number as long, operation as a string, and answer as a variant. The reason we want a variant at that point is we want it to be able to choose between something that can be summed up and something that is string. Okay, and so we've got our first number equals input box, what is your first number? Second number equals input box, what is your second number? Then operation equals input box. What would you like to do with this number? Add, subtract, multiply, or divide. I want you to notice the multiplication sign here. It's an X. You could use a lowercase x or an uppercase X. It doesn't matter. It's probably easier to use a lowercase x. It's easier to execute the function in the end. Now let's look at the if statement. So if operation, that's the input box there, is this plus sign, then the answer is equal to first number plus the second number. And then we're going to message box down here the answer. But we're not going to put anything further here. So what would happen is if it was the plus sign, it would immediately come back down here and give us the answer. Else, if it was a minus sign, then first number answer is equal to first number minus second number. Else, if it was an X, and you could go lowercase, I'll just swap these to lowercase to show you the difference. So if it was X, then the answer equals first number, and there's the multiplication symbol. It's a star or asterisk, and asterisk the second number, or multiplied by the second number. Else, if the operation is a division symbol, then the answer is first number divided by the second number. Else, the answer is an invalid operation was chosen. And then it ends the if. So you've got an if, else if, else if, else if, else, and if, then the message box. Let's just run this. And so it comes up what is our first number, and so we'll say 5, press OK. It says what is the second number, and we can say 6, press OK. What would you like to do it? Well, let's add it and press OK, and it immediately calculates it to the 11. Now, when actually debugging it, you just should not just do the first thing that comes to mind. You should systematically go through. So I'm putting in a number 5, 6, and then I'm going to minus that. Should be -1, yes. And I run the program multiple times until I've gone through all the combinations, 5, 6, and this time we're going to go a division symbol. 8.33, and the next one we're going to go 5, 6, and this one will be multiplication, so there's the X, and there it is, 30. And the final way that we should do it is if we go 5, 6, and then we're just going to put anything in there, and it says invalid operation. We should probably also check to see if when we put it in here, see what happens. Okay, so we probably need to actually write some debugging to get rid of this. We don't want this to occur to any user. So there's where the problem is, and we can deal with that. So that is VBA. So we've got to also write some code to debug it, and you'll find the same with the Python code. So we're just keeping this kind of code going. Let's have a look at the Python code. So this is the Python code. Now in Python we can define the variables, etc. with an input box. So for example, we go first number equals input box, enter the first number. So we've done that whole operation in one lot. The second number equals input, enter the number. Now we're setting the operation. Operation equals input, what operation would you like to perform? And it's the same as before. And then the code for the operation and if then statement. So if operation equals equals, that's really important at that point. If you just wrote equals, it would actually give and assign the value plus sign to the operation, and then it's going to mess up. So it's got to be equals equals at that point. So if operation equals equals, the plus sign, sum equals float, first number plus float, second number. So you've got to actually designate that it's a number, and it's a possible one with a digit, which is float. So if you see down here, we're doing the same thing, sum equal, print sum down here. Okay, so we're keeping the if statement away from the printing statement. Okay, we can do it in between, but it just makes it messy. It just means we've got to put print sum right there, and then print sum here, and print sum here, and print sum here. That's not fun. Elif instead of else if. Elif, operation equals this. So else, if the operation is equal to the minus sign, then we go sum equals float, minus sign there, and float second number. Elif, if it's an x, that's the same thing, multiplication, same calculatable kind of combination here. See, same symbol there. Elif, it equals this, sum, float, division. Else, sum equals invalid operation, and print sum. Now let's just run this and see the difference, I suppose. The first thing you'll notice is that it comes up with the command prompt. And it says enter the first number. So we'll go 5, press enter. Enter the second number, 6. What operation would you like to perform? Well, let's do plus. And as you can see, the good thing about this is you can see what's going on systematically after it. So we can test the same thing. We run it again. We'll do it with the multiplication 5. Oh, let's wait for it to run. 5, 6. What operation would I like? Let's do multiplication. Press enter, and it's 30. Press that. So there are advantages to and disadvantages to Python and VBA. I find VBA easier to read because I'm reading code all the time. But Python, it's a much faster method to write. There are advantages in form making with VBA, and there are advantages with the programming side of things with Python. So that's a good discussion on how it works. I hope this helps your understanding of what you're getting into. Catch you later.